All right. Here we go. Now, like I said, we get it in when we can get it in. And, Jill, get away from under the rug. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. What? Look at the rug. Oh my goodness. And then there's toys all over the floor. Come on, Jude. No, you need to spread that right on back out. And turn the TV down a little bit. Why do kids watch people play video games now instead of just playing the game? My oldest daughter needed a ride home from work. Left and went to do that. Came back and my house was tore up. Yeah, so I'm going to enjoy some dinner while I explain this to you. And just that quick, I needed to get the baby and put him in his chair. So I'm going to explain some things. Someone had asked me, yes, I'm deciding to eat dinner with a chopstick. Well, with chopsticks. Someone had asked me, do I have side jobs to offset the low pay with Stride K12? Like I said, depending on where you live, they are going to give you the state minimum. Now, side jobs, I will say, yes, I'm still with Cambly. I'm with Cambly. And if you don't know what Cambly is, that's teaching ESL online. You make your own schedule. You make anywhere from $10 to $12 an hour. If you're working with children, you make $12 an hour. They pay you by the minute, though. So that's a whole... I have videos on Cambly, and I'm going to do more videos on Cambly as well. So I am with Cambly. However, I have not tutored on my active Cambly account for over a year. But I have gotten messages asking me, teacher, can I schedule some classes with you? I've gotten messages, so I'm like, last summer I did nothing. So this summer, well, I taught a little bit last summer, barely. This summer, I'm not going to just keep it idle. I am going to probably pick up some hours on Cambly. But throughout the school year, no, I haven't had a need to do that. I've been fine with my pay, but it's all in my budgeting. You know, I live below my means, and I still travel. I still go and have fun. I still enjoy myself, but I budget. So all in my budgeting, so I didn't have to pick up a side gig, even though I'm only bringing home, well, my gross is about $44K here in Oklahoma. Because they pay the state minimum. So depending on where you live, that would be probably around where you would get paid the state minimum for teachers around the neighborhood. I get paid a little bit over the state minimum. The state minimum is like 42 something. Oklahoma is low. So I do have Cambly. I do have OutSchool, which is another teaching platform where you get paid. You actually set the price for your classes and you get paid by the class. You get paid by the classes that you book. Look at this little thing right here. He's been practicing feeding himself. Those are not, just so you guys know, those are not like regular cheese puffs. Those are baby food cheese puffs. These. So these are whole grain, mild cheddar cheese puffs. So I didn't just bust open a bag of cheese puffs. And if I did bust open a bag of cheese puffs and gave him a few, I don't care. I don't care, okay? But I didn't. But I haven't had to have any side gigs or side jobs to supplement my K12 pay. I have not. Everything I do has been based off of my budget for my K12 pay. Anything else I get has been like sprinkles, frosting, sprinkle. It's just been extra. So, if getting paid on YouTube, that's extra. I haven't actually, since I haven't posted on YouTube, that's the thing. If you don't post and people don't regularly watch your videos, you're not going to get paid. And I haven't been posting on YouTube for a while. And I haven't been consistent, which is why I'm like, I'm back, baby, because my youngest son is getting older now, a little more self-sufficient. He's off his oxygen. So he has a little more independence now. So I don't have to have him like, even though he wants to be all up on me, I don't have to have him like in my face like this all the time. So anything I get paid extra from K12 is just that, it's extra. I don't have to have any side work to make it work because I live below my means. And it's just work for us. And I'm a single mom with, I have 4 minors, but 5 children total. My oldest, she still needs me. I even pay her car insurance. She doesn't pay her car insurance. She's on my policy and I pay the whole thing to give her, you know, just to kind of help her out a little bit. So, single mom of 5. And I don't have to have the side work. I have 2 businesses that I opened up. And they've kind of been on halt ever since, well, they've been kind of halted for a while. So I haven't been getting money from those. But once all those streams are back flowing, because now I have the time to invest in those, then woohoo! But no, I have not had to do that. So let me get to that next question. Do you make your own lessons with K12? No. Well, okay, so the curriculum is already there for you. The curriculum is there. They have everything you need. What you do is you have to plug in the standards. So you plug in your standards that those align to. You can do your own pacing. So you don't have to teach it in order that they have it. You can pace it and go, you know, move about as you wish. So it's not like you have to do this in this order and unit by unit. And, you know, you don't have to do it that way. And every school purchases licensing for different applications, different types of things that you use to supplement the curriculum that they already have. So as far as lessons, you are making your lessons by how you present it. How are you going to present it? You present it on a platform, on the K12 platform. So you're not using Zoom or anything. They have their own built-in platform. And they call those, when you log in, Class Connect sessions. So you make your own slides. So you make your own PowerPoint slides and you can teach off of your slides how you want. So there you go. Whatever videos, if you want to tie in some YouTube videos as part of your lesson, pull some YouTube videos and be like, this is part of my lesson. I'm playing this YouTube video. We're going to do this. And they have all the curriculum for you that the kids just go in. And it's up to you how you want to teach the curriculum. You know, like in the brick and mortar, how you have the textbooks. You have the books and you teach it. They give you questions. They give you like guides and stuff. It's the same thing. It's like a digital textbook. Like the teacher textbook that you get that digitally, where it's up to you how you want to teach it. So you would create your flow, your lesson flow, but you don't have to like find your own curriculum. No, you don't do that. So hopefully that answers your question as far as, do you create your own lesson plans? You had a lot to say about that? Let's ask him. Oliver, what do you think about creating lesson plans? Yep, what he said. When my children grow up and they're older, do I want to go back into brick and mortar? Short answer, no. Because I've been in virtual since 2017. So it's not like this has been something I tried out here recently. I've been virtual since 2017. And it is a breath of fresh air. He still needs to eat baby food. I haven't fed him yet. He was just eating like a snack. You want to feed him? Okay. Here's his spoon. I just haven't fed him yet. I love it when my daughter steps right in. So, no. I do not want to go back to the brick and mortar. They try to entice me. I get emails all the time. Like twice a month. I get emails from schools in my district saying, hey, because, you know, I used to teach in the district. And so my information is still out there. And, you know, there's a teacher shortage. I don't know about where you live. I think it's a nationwide teacher shortage. But in Oklahoma, there's a teacher shortage. Big time. Big time. And so I get teachers that are, principals that are like, hey, so we're hiring a teacher for, and they're all elementary, because that's where I came from. I came from teaching elementary. Please stop. Please stop. I came from teaching elementary, and now I teach middle school. And so these elementary schools, which elementary is my heart. So yes, sometimes when these teachers are like, these principals are like, hey, we're hiring for a second grader position. Oh, I remember when I taught second grade, we're hiring for a third grade. Oh my gosh. I like sweat, and I'm like, but then I'm like, do you remember the time? Do you remember the time? And I remember all those times. And I'm just like, hee hee hoo hoo, hee hee hoo hoo, hee hee hoo hoo, hoo hoo. And I snap out of it. But you guys, I have a passion for teaching, but no, I don't plan on going back to brick and mortar. The pay is enticing. I do miss, seeing my little learner babies in person. I do miss that. And having adult friends, I'll tell you that. You get to know the teachers virtually, but actually like chatting with the teacher and like having lunch with them, which you can do. You might find some virtual teachers that live close to you. You could be like, girl, or hey guy, you wanna catch some lunch? You wanna do some planning together? You wanna get together this weekend and do some planning about this or whatever. You can do that. It just so happens that all the teachers that I work with, they're like Tulsa. A bunch of them live in the Tulsa area, which is an hour and 45 minute drive away from me. So they do stuff together sometimes. And I'm just like, nobody knows the trouble I've been through. And so, you might find some teacher friends to do that. That's the only things I miss about brick and mortar. The only. And that's not enough. The pay is bigger, but then I'm just like, I don't want to bash, these schools because we need them. We still need them. We need them. My older children want to go back. They don't want to be virtual. They want to they want to interact in person with their friends and stuff. And I respect that. So people need that environment. They need socialization. I just don't. So no, I don't wish to go back to the brick and mortar when they grow up. I'm hoping to retire early. I really do. I'm hoping that everything that I've been doing will pay off and I will have an early retirement. I'm 40. In case you guys didn't know, I am 40 years old. This year, 2022, I will be 41. And my goal is to retire at 52. That's my goal. That's the number I put out there, 52. I want to retire. So I'm doing everything in my will to retire early. Any tips on what to expect when you're doing the K12 interview? Well, I'll give you a tip. They are going to ask you, think about any interview where they ask you situational questions. What would you do if, I'll tell you, for example, they would say, what would you do if you gave a test and 90% of the class failed it? Or what would you do if you taught a unit and 85% of your class did not reach mastery? Those types of questions. So you have to be prepared with plans on discussing what would you do in those situations if you have learners that are struggling. What skills do you use? What, how do you get them to mastery? That's what they want to know. So be prepared for those types of questions. They will ask you questions like, they love to think about. They won't ask you about fighting questions, obviously. In the brick and mortar, they did. They were like, so what would you do if, and they ask you about, because some schools I worked at were like, lean on me if you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. Those types of schools, okay? Those are some schools that I worked for. And so they asked me about the fighting questions in brick and mortar. But online, they don't really ask you about that. They might ask you, depending on the environment that you're going to be teaching in, especially if you're special ed, they might ask you, what would you do if a parent was unhappy or a parent had questions about some services that they were getting? What would you do? Or just, be prepared for those situations, those tough to talk about situations that keep you on your toes. Have a plan, like, okay, this is generally what I would do in this situation. And be sincere about it. Be realistic and be sincere. My motto is, you can't please everybody. Not even Jesus can do it. So how am I expected to do it? You just can't. But you can do your rootin' tootin' darnest to make this world a better place. That's all we can really do. So, advice, be prepared for those types of questions. And during your interview process, they will have more than one person. And they'll kind of tag team asking you questions. So, address everyone. Be like, you don't have to smile until your cheeks hurt. Like, be sincere. Be yourself. That's what they want to see. They want to see your personality, because you're going to be working with these people. The people that are interviewing you are the people you will be working with. It's going to be your principal. And then a lot of times they'll pull a teacher from your team that's going to be working with you. And then they'll probably have the head of school in the interview with you. And that's like the principal's boss. So, and you're going to have to, have meetings and stuff, like when they have team meetings. So the people that will be in your interview are people that you will be seeing. They're not just HR people. The HR people do the back office stuff. Your interview people will be the people that you will be dealing with on a regular basis. So be yourself, be sincere. I told them, I said, you know what? Because they asked me about what would I do. And they asked me some tough situation questions. And I said, you know what? Since I'm working at an alternative school, I said, when I was teaching brick and mortar, I had like a group of students tell me, you know what, Miss Wigfall, you are the nicest, meanest teacher that I've ever had. And I had to think about it for a while. And then I took it as a compliment, because it's like, I stayed on them. I was like, up, boop, 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 boop. Come here, baby. You need something to eat? You want a granola bar? But then they know I'll get on them. Now, I don't play that. You know better. Now get over here and sit down. No, you know the consequences. You know this. But then at the same time, I'm going to make sure, I'm like, you didn't have any lunch today? What happened? How come you didn't tell me? Come here. Let me get you. Let me get you. I have some stuff. Do you have any allergies? I have some stuff in there. I have some pudding. I just treated them like I would my own kids, really. Minus grounding them. But I guess you could say I grounded them when I said, okay, well, at recess, it's going to be me and you up in here working. We going to work. So be yourself and let them see your personality. Let them see your personality. And be ready for those tough questions, because it's not all going to be sunshine, lollipops, and... Okay, so you see I got the baby here. So when I sing, it's entertaining to him. You have food face. What happened? What happened? What happened? So I'm in a singing mood. So hopefully this helped you and answered your questions. TTFN.